Hi, what's up? This is Rishu, and actually today it's a beautiful weather. I'm outside here, sitting here outside. This is my accommodation. I'm gonna just show you around. If you could see here, it's actually raining right now. It's a bit of rainy. It's been raining since the morning, but overall it's a nice weather. Anyway, so actually I want to talk about traveling today. So basically a lot of people like to travel. Like me, I have traveled to many Asian countries. I'm not traveled a lot in Europe or some of the Western countries, but I've traveled a lot in Asian countries. And I want to talk about 5 countries where you should visit. And I say you should visit because I think these countries we should be visiting. And the reason for that, because these countries are superb. Like I talk about culture and traditions. These countries are really rich in culture and traditions, and also affordable. A lot of people are kind of budget traveler, right? So if you want to travel to any country, you should be looking into your pocket. Right? You should be considering that how much you're going to spend in a country. And if you visit these countries, I think your pocket is going to be quite friendly. I mean, you're going to be pocket friendly, I would say that, because these countries doesn't cost you a lot. I mean, if you travel to this country, you don't have to spend a lot of money, and you can actually spend a lot of time. You can stay many days as you want without spending much on accommodation and food. So we're going to talk about 5 these countries. All right. Right now, as you know, that I'm currently living in Vietnam. Actually, I work here as an English teacher. So it's been a long time for me. Now I've been living here for the last 4 or 5 months, but overall I've stayed in Vietnam for almost 3 years, and I have a good time. So I actually know a lot about Vietnam, about its culture and tradition. Right, so number one, I would say Vietnam. If you like traveling, if you want to travel to some Asian country, I would say you should go to Vietnam for sure, because Vietnam is quite rich in culture and tradition. And if you live in any part of Vietnam, it's quite affordable. I mean, it's not too expensive. The cost of living is not too much. Especially, I'm talking about some other parts of Vietnam, like remote area. Of course, if you live in cities, the cost of living might be a little higher than usual, but still not too high. If you live in capital like Hanoi, in the downtown area, then the cost of living might get a little higher. But if you move away from Hanoi, the capital, or the Ho Chi Minh, that's the biggest city in Vietnam, then the cost of living is quite good, and the food is quite nice, traditional, delicious, and also for people are quite friendly. They're quite hospitable. You're gonna find a lot of friendly people. You're gonna see that a lot of people actually gonna give you attention as a foreigner. So it's a really nice country to explore, and nice places. There are mountains, beaches, and so many traditional places, temples, pagoda. So you can go there and enjoy your trip to Vietnam. Number 2 I would talk about is Thailand. So Thailand is one of my favorite places, especially for tourism. I've been to Thailand, I think 4 or 5 times in total, and every time I went there, I had a really good time. In Thailand, there are some famous places you might know about. For example, Bangkok is the capital, and Pattaya and Phuket. Phuket is basically known for beaches, and Pattaya is more like a lively place where you can actually enjoy the city life. So these places are quite awesome. My favorite food is Thai food. I prefer to eat Thai food. Every time I go there, I just enjoy eating Thai food. So food is one of the things that you might enjoy eating. And apart from that, Thailand is one of the places where you can find everything. Like if you want to explore some traditional places, you can go to some temples, traditional buildings. If you want to explore some, say, parks, or say some kind of safari park, right? You can go there. If you want to go to beaches, there are nice beaches. And then if you want to explore, as I said, that you want to explore city life, like nightlife, there are some places like Pattaya. You can actually go there and enjoy your city life. So Thailand is one of the places for single people, also for couples. So it's a kind of really awesome place, and Thailand is also kind of budget friendly. You don't have to spend a lot of money if you are in Thailand. So transportation is quite cheap, and you can actually enjoy living in Thailand. Number three, I would talk about, I've been to that country once, and that's called the Philippines. So the Philippines is one of the nicest place. One of the advantages to go to the Philippines is because a lot of people can speak English in Philippines. Means you don't really have to worry about communicating with local people because people can understand you. For example, if you go to Vietnam sometimes, so if you're not in the city, you might find a little bit troublesome to communicate with local people because not a lot of people can speak in English. So in that case, you need to use translator, use some hand gestures and all. But in the Philippines, I think most of the people, almost all people can speak English, a little bit of English. Even not fluent, they can speak a bit of English. So in that case, Philippines is one of the best countries you could actually visit and enjoy no matter where you come from, right? So, and also in the Philippines, the people are quite friendly, quite hospitable. It's quite actually opposite to Vietnam and Thailand, where people are a little conservative and traditional, but in the Philippines, people are more open and extroverted. So it depends what kind of person you are. If you like to explore places, like to talk with people, I'm in Philippines, you can talk with anyone and you can be more open to people, right? And the food, of course, food is also really good. And if you know that Philippines has the most number of beaches in Asian countries, like if you talk about whole Asia, Philippines has the most number of beaches. So Philippines is basically known for its beaches, right? So you can actually go and explore this place. You can go to the capital, Manila. Cebu is one of the places where there are some nice beaches, and Iloilo is one of the nicest places. So these places you can actually go, and the best thing is that you can actually enjoy talking with people because there's no language barrier. So Philippines, I would say you should also visit if you want to explore Asian countries. Number four, I would say from my country, India. Of course, I'm from India, but I'm not saying because I'm from India, but I'm saying because India is one of the diverse countries in the world. When I say it, I mean it, because India has many languages, many culture, many races, many traditions, and many religions. So it means you can actually mingle with all different kinds of people. And if you know, India is like the seventh largest country in the world. Like it's quite big, you know. I mean, it's not enough for you to explore all India because India basically divided into several parts. I mean, basically we talk about southern part and northern part, and southern part is totally different from northern part because the culture, the food, the tradition, the customs are totally different from each other. So India might be one of the places in your bucket list if you want to travel. And India, of course, there is everything. I mean, beaches, mountains, some traditional places, heritage buildings, monuments, and a lot of people, of course, right? So if you want to go there, India is one of the places. Even as an Indian, I have not been to all places in India. The reason for that, because as I said, the India is quite big, and I've been to northern part of India, but for me, I've never explored a lot the southern part, and southern part is more kind of cultural. If you go to southern part, you might see more culture, people wearing traditional clothes, eating traditional food in a very grounded way, right? And northern part is more like influenced by Western culture, you could say. Some parts are influenced by Western culture, where you can see some people with a Western attire, or of course they follow kind of Western culture a bit, but not all northern parts. So of course, both places are quite different, but one of the best things is that food, of course, if you know about food, Indian food is known worldwide. So, and it's kind of spicy. If you love spicy food and a little bit of hot food, you should try it. But if you're not really familiar with spicy food, I mean, you should be careful what you're eating because sometimes it might cause problem in your stomach, right? So food is quite delicious, and also people are quite friendly. I mean, if you talk to any Indian person, they're quite friendly, they're quite helpful. So this is one of the countries you should visit for sure to explore and know different cultures. And number four, I would say our neighboring country next to India, which is Nepal. So I've been to Nepal a couple of times, and Nepal is actually situated in the mountainous area. So it's basically a mountainous area overall. There's nothing. I mean, if you go there, it's a small country, but the roads are kind of sometimes treacherous. I mean, so it might be difficult for you to travel, I mean transportation, I'm not sure if it's so good because as I said, it's a mountainous area, so transportation is a little bit of troublesome, and you will find a lot of buses going from one place to another. But as I said, the Nepal is a small country, so basically you're going to enjoy. So in Nepal, a lot of people, a lot of people in certain area. I'm not saying that overall Nepal, because Nepal is a small country and few people, but in certain area there are a lot of people. So you can actually go to Kathmandu, which is capital. Kathmandu is more like a city area, and there is also a place like Pokhara. Pokhara is more like an adventurous place if you want to do some say activities like skydiving or paragliding or bungee jumping. So all these kinds of activities, the best place for you to do. I actually went to Nepal last time and I did all these activities and I really enjoyed my time. So I mean, you should go to Nepal for sure. And of course, the cost of living is also not too high. It's same as India. I mean, as in India, you can actually eat cheap food and you can find cheap accommodation. Same in Nepal. I mean, you can actually find cheaper accommodation and have nice food. Food is also really good. However, you might see some more fast food like Chinese food or something, other kind of food, because sometimes you might see some kind of fast food people might be eating a lot of time. But yeah, as I said, Nepalese and Indian food is not much different because Nepal is also influenced by Indian. So there's a little bit of influence of India on Nepal. So the food is quite similar, but also there's a lot of fast food. And of course, as I said, that overall, if you explore Nepal, and I think a week would be enough for you to go to Nepal to explore all the places, because Nepal is not so big. However, it takes time for transportation. If you move from one city to another city, it takes more time in Nepal. So these are 5 countries I would suggest that you should definitely visit if you're in Asia. So Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines, India, and Nepal. Right? If you have any other countries in mind in Asia which you think is the best, I've kept these countries into consideration, keeping in mind the cost of living and the overall experience and culture and tradition. Of course, there are a lot of countries in Asia you can also visit, but keeping all these factors in mind, I think these are the 5 best countries you should visit, and you're gonna love those countries. So that's all for today. Thank you.